Hey you guys, so Pedro and Chantel, they are obviously going through some issues. Chantel seems to think it's a communication issue. She feels that Pedro is acting funny or acting distant and different since they left the Dominican Republic. Pedro, on the other hand, is saying that he feels that Chantel is selfish and all she thinks about is herself, and he just can't deal with her selfishness. So what the problem really is, let's talk about it. I'll be right back at you. Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Rini. In today's video, we're going to briefly discuss The Family Chantel Season 4, Episode 3, On the Chin, I believe is what it was called, On the Chin. And basically, it's not a whole lot to talk about. We're just going to really get into the whole situation with Chantel and Pedro, and a little bit about what's going on with Pedro and his family. So it starts off with the ladies, Chantel, her mom, and her sister getting ready to leave Mexico. Her sister had her surgery. It went very well. It went very well. As a matter of fact, she came through pretty good. She recovered well, and she's on her way to her weight loss journey. So, they're gathering up their things and leaving and getting ready to go to the airport. And on the way there, they're in the car and they're talking, they're reminiscing, and, they're talking to Winter about her new boyfriend that she has that lives in Africa. And, she's asking Chantal all these questions about her and Pedro and how their relationship sparked off from being a long distance relationship. And Chantal was sitting there kind of looking kind of, I would say kind of in her thoughts and semi-sad, because she's reminiscing on the fact that when her and Pedro first started off, it was nothing but love. I mean, they were all the time talking, they were very romantic with each other, and just, when she went to visit him and all this other stuff. So she's reminiscing on those days because she don't have that now. So we're going to get more into that. So Nicole is, just basically reminiscing about her and Pedro, and just really feels that their relationship has been bruised really badly. She feels like she don't have a relationship with her brother. She feels that every time she calls her brother does not answer, and she's just really upset about their relationship and how it really has come to really hardly not a relationship at all. And as y'all know from the last review, Pedro is upset at the way Nicole handled herself when Pedro and his family, Chantel and her mom and sister were in Dominican Republic, how Nicole was very abusive and the things that she said and how she carried on, not to mention everything that Pedro went through when he was in Dominican Republic, dealing with trying to find his father. So they had a real deep conversation when Nicole called Pedro. This time he decides to answer the phone. So he just goes in. He goes in about everything, about how she carried on, about how she didn't, join forces with him to find the father, and just the whole thing with Alejandro. And, they had their words, and she just basically told him, she's over, her father. She's learned to live without him. Yes, her and Alejandro broke up, and then she goes to share, when she's talking with the producers, that she feels like there's no way that she could have stayed with Alejandro because Pedro and her mom does not like him, and it was causing a rift in the family. So the best thing that she could have did was just separate from him, because there's no way they could have really had a relationship given the fact that they don't like him. So I do understand that. So they really didn't come to no happy medium. Nicole really didn't apologize to Pedro. I think he was looking for an apology. The way they ended the phone conversation is like they're still at rift with one another. And it's just sad because they were really close. I understand kind of both perspectives. I do understand where Pedro is coming from, and I do kind of understand where Nicole was coming from in terms of the whole relationship that she had with Alejandro, because she's basically telling Pedro, it's the same thing with Chantel. She's rude and she disrespects me too. So I'm hoping that they can mend that and get back into their sibling relationship, because they were close, and it's sad to see that they have this rift in their relationship like that. So now they're back in Atlanta. Chantel, Winter, the mom, they're back in Atlanta. They're all happy to be back home. Chantel is very anxious, and she's just so happy. She wants to go home and see Pedro. She misses him, she bought him souvenirs and all that. So she goes home, and they didn't even really hug each other when she got home. Like, she just started going in about some mess that she's seen on the floor or whatever. So I kind of can see where Pedro's coming from when he says that when he says that Chantel is like into herself or whatever, don't really listen, don't really like understand or whatever, always argumentative. Because if I was away from my husband like that for a couple of days or whatever, all the way in Mexico, and I come back home, I'm just going to go grab him and give him a big old hug and kiss, baby, I miss you, da-da-da-da-da. But she just goes in, what is this? Pedro, what is this? They did not even hug and greet each other. I thought that was kind of like really weird. So they just sit down and they start talking, long story short, Nicole, I keep saying Nicole, Lord have mercy, Chantel goes into the fact about how she telling Pedro that, you know, we don't talk anymore. You seem like you're distant. I need you to open up and talk to me. Tell me what's going on. And he's like, there's nothing to say. You know, I'm good. You know, I'm fine. You know, I just got a lot going on. But he basically just shut her down and was like, it's nothing really to talk about. So I don't see how their relationship can withstand that, because communication is the key. And like, if you have a husband and or a wife and y'all can't communicate with each other and tell each other what's on each other's mind, that's a huge barrier. That's a huge problem. So basically, you know, she's letting him know, I noticed a difference in your behavior. I see something different. I don't like how it feels. There is an issue. There's a problem. We need to talk about this. And he's like pushing back. So they got some stuff that they really got to get out and get together and get on the same. And y'all, so basically the last thing is Nicole. She's getting ready for this Miss Dominican Republic pageant. You know, she has the support of her friend Karima. You know, she's there with her all the way. So she's practicing for the pageant. It's getting ready to go down, you know. So she's on her way there to, you know, participate in this pageant. She's been practicing real hard. She's been working out. She's hoping that her family will come and support her in this pageant. I think she may have mentioned it to Pedro, or Pedro's mom may have mentioned it to him, but I don't think he has no plans of going there to support her in the pageant. I mean, he does know about it, but I don't think he's coming to support her whatsoever. So anyways, y'all, that's really the gist of what happened on this episode. Basically, there's trouble in the water between Pedro and Chantel, and they will probably hopefully get more into what is going on with them next episode. If y'all enjoyed this, please subscribe and comment and like this video, and I will see y'all at the next video. Bye.